Well, let's get you some advice. These figures have not yet taken into account the increase in energy bills from the beginning of this month, meaning inflation is expected to be even higher next month. Lots to discuss with the consumer expert Kate Hardcastle. Welcome. Some viewers will have experienced high inflation before. For others, this is all new and very concerning. What's your advice, first of all, for those who are struggling simply to get to work because of the cost of putting petrol or diesel into their car?
I have a huge amount of empathy for how many families have been affected. Just at the beginning of April, we saw over 22 million households affected by that increase in terms of the fuel cap, and we're still to see that impact in the figures. So that's going to be April's inflation rates, the end of April, where we start to see that. And I think we've got to get very realistic. We as advisors have been telling the consumers maybe for 10 years via brilliant programs like yours, this is how you can swap and save. You're in charge of your own destiny when it comes to bills. But the fact of the matter is, if the wage impact means that you just don't have the extra income to be able to spend, and you've got to buy those necessities every month, it becomes really difficult. And that's why we have to become so much more vigilant with everything we spend. It is about going through the bank balance.
What does that vigilance mean then? What does that mean? Because we're looking at preparing for what happens next month when those costs go up again.
We've got to be realistic. Some households are doing every single thing they can, but there are still some that can make a difference. You've got to get your bank balance every month, go through every payment. Are there any subscriptions there? Are there anything maybe like a mobile phone bill where you haven't renegotiated your contract of late? Is there anything you can do where you might need a new item, perhaps electrically, and you can go to a second-hand opportunity to resell? I think it's got to be those extra measures now. It shouldn't have to be like that. We shouldn't be living like that. But the fact of the matter is, the more you're in the driving seat with your finances, knowing those figures ins and outs, the better placed you are. And still a lot of people, Nina, are very distracted when they're doing those supermarket shops. They are driven to offers. They're driven to things at the moment of purchase that can inflate what they spend. The best way is to know what your budget is before you go out to the grocery store. Make sure that you've absolutely got the budget in mind that you spend, and stick to that budget. That's something you can control week in, week out.
Kate, I want to leave people with a tiny bit of hope. Will the warmer weather at least take the edge off some of the heating bills? You've got about 10 seconds.
Of course it will, but please be ready for the autumn. Do enjoy the summer, but make sure you've got some in reserves in terms of the spend and the save.
Kate Hardcastle, thanks very much for all that advice. Thank you.